Hi and welcome to this chess channel here for you. I hope you enjoy this game. I certainly do. It's quite a good game. It's none other than Paul Morphy. Paul Morphy is a name that everyone knows in chess, or you get to learn about him sooner or later, hopefully. This is the Evans Gambit, and so this game was played in New York in 1857. Okay, 1857. And so here's Paul Morphy, and the opening moves were e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, and here we come with the famous Evans Gambit with b4, where white gambits a pawn and offers it up to black for speedy development and central control and central influence. Okay, so here's bishop b4, c3, bishop to a5, okay, d4, which is looking like it's giving more pawns away, e4, queen to knight 3, queen f6, which actually Paul Morphy believes is better than queen e7. He believes that queen f6 is better. And now we're going to do something a little bit surprising. We're going to flip the board, because white here is not Paul Morphy in this Waller's variation of the Evans Gambit, but in fact Thompson, and he is playing Paul Morphy black. So here, after queen f6, we have white castles, fair enough. d6, e5 anyway. What a good move. e5. Pawn takes d e5, and here we have cd4. And now we have ed4. And knight b d2. And knight g e7. Okay, so bishop b2 and castles. Okay, pretty clear, pretty amazing stuff. And currently white has got 4 pawns versus 7 pawns. Okay, and all pieces are equal. White has developed quicker than black, of course, so that's where white hopes to get advantage, even though they are 3 pawns down. So if we look at this position, it's white's pieces are swinging into action readily faster than that of black's. So what follows next is knight e4 and queen g6, a move that we can all see. Okay, now bishop to d3. Now this looks quite threatening, because all of a sudden white is threatening moves like knight eg5 and chomping at the bit on h7. Oops, we're not going to go there, are we, computer? So not that Morphy did that move either. So, but it is black's turn, and so here he plays bishop f5. So this is offering kind of a pseudo sacrifice of the b7 pawn, which we'll not do because of rook a b8 and rook takes bishop, I believe, or just bishop takes knight for black. So where was that queen? That queen was there, wasn't it? So it's not there. So here is the move knight h4. So what should black do now? Knight f4. We have queen h5. Knight takes bishop. And is it queen takes bishop? No, it's not. It's not that. It's knight takes. And here is a mistake from Paul's opponent Thompson, is f4. Now, instantly white can be looking at this position for black's knight, not that we're going there yet. And also, but white has ideas of rook f3 and rook h3, an envelope attack, as Nimizovich puts it. So here comes king's rook to king 1. And this is, of course, rook a e8. Rook f3 as promised, and then knight to b4. Knight to g5. Knight takes d3, and I believe queen takes d3. Okay, so pretty easy to follow so far. Now we have queen to g6, because the knight is attacked, of course. So queen to g6. So rook h3. And now comes a good move, rook to e3, check to the queen. Queen to b5. Now looking at the bishop on a5, of course. So here we have rook takes rook. Okay, rook takes rook. Queen takes pawn, an intermediate move, because white is now threatening queen takes rook. Checkmate. So, did our great Paul Morphy see this move? Yes, I believe so. Rook to e8. Knight takes rook. Bishop to b6. Now housing this bishop, where it's also protecting the a pawn as well, and it also threatens moves like d3 check, and d2, I believe, and rook e1, check and queenie. So bishop b6, rook to f1. Now comes the move promised before, knight e3. Now this does not threaten queen g2 checkmate because the queen is defending it along this diagonal. So we're not going there, computer. So knight to e3. This is pretty primo, this position, so white plays here f5. Now comes queen g4. What's white having to worry about? Anything? Well, first of all, knight takes rook is threatened, of course. And we also have this wee little maybe discovery check with d3 later on. So who would think from here that it's soon over? Knight f2. Now, if you can find the next couple of moves that make white resign here, then well done. And the next couple of moves are this, because the queen is threatened with knight f2 to knight g4. Queen here, and now we're threatening this and this simultaneously or simultaneously. So the threat is queen f1, okay, and also the threat is queen takes bishop. So white now plays a sensible looking move is rook b1. So quickly find the move that causes black to win on the spot. So now find the move that Paul Morphy played against Thompson all those years ago is the following move. Knight e1. Knight e3 to d3, to d1, sorry. And here it's very difficult for white to save their position. In fact, they'd have to sacrifice the knight at least on f2. And why is that? Because rook takes knight on d1, then black just plays queen e1 check. And it is black that checkmates white, you see? So that's checkmate. So that's quite good. Other moves that white can try here. This is probably the only move. But the other move is this, and this is no good because a queen e1 checkmate. So what about if just queen here? That will not do because not queen takes queen, because that will be no good because of even though white still loses in all variations just about. I'll show you. Check. And then we pick up this rook, you see. So that's how that game went way back then in 1857. Okay. Thank you for viewing.